In the summer of 1971, a groundbreaking psychological experiment promised to unlock the secrets of human behavior under duress. 24 college students, all healthy, stable, and randomly assigned roles, walked into a simulated prison beneath Stanford University. Within days, the lines blurred. Normal young men transformed into sadistic guards and traumatized prisoners, spiraling into a psychological abyss far deeper than anyone could have predicted. The study, designed for 2 weeks, was violently terminated after just 6 days, leaving behind a legacy of controversy and profound ethical questions. What happened in that basement challenged our understanding of human nature itself. This is that story. Before the descent, the intellectual landscape of psychology was grappling with profound questions of disposition versus situation. Were human actions primarily driven by inherent personality traits, or by the powerful, often unseen, forces of environment and social roles? Dr. Philip Zimbardo, a professor at Stanford University, aimed to provide definitive answers. Inspired by the escalating conflicts in American prisons and the Vietnam War, Zimbardo secured a research grant from the U.S. Office of Naval Research for $17,500, approximately $125,000 in today's money. He sought to understand the psychological effects of prison life, recruiting 70 volunteers through newspaper ads offering $15 per day, a substantial sum for students in 1971. After rigorous interviews and diagnostic tests, Zimbardo selected 24 men, all deemed emotionally stable, mature, and without criminal records or psychological issues. He then flipped a coin, randomly assigning 12 to be guards and 12 to be prisoners. The stage was set for a scientific inquiry, but what unfolded would challenge the very definition of scientific ethics. The experiment began on Sunday, August 14, 1971. The setup was meticulous: a simulated prison in the basement of Stanford's Jordan Hall, complete with 3 cells, a solitary confinement hole, and a yard. The selected prisoners were subjected to a genuine-feeling arrest by Palo Alto police, complete with sirens, fingerprinting, and booking. They were then blindfolded and brought to the Stanford County Prison, stripped, deloused, and issued loose-fitting smocks, a cap, and a chain around one ankle, dehumanizing steps designed to strip individuality. The guards, meanwhile, were given khaki uniforms, batons, handcuffs, and reflective sunglasses, instructed only to maintain order without physical violence. The hierarchy was instant, absolute, and enforced by design. Within hours, the carefully selected, psychologically stable young men began to shed their civilian identities. The guards, empowered by their uniforms and the perceived authority, quickly escalated their tactics. They forced prisoners to do push-ups, clean toilets with their bare hands, and engage in degrading drills. The prisoners, stripped of their names and called only by numbers, quickly internalized their helplessness. On day 2, a full-scale rebellion erupted. Prisoners ripped off their numbers, barricaded cell doors with beds, and taunted the guards. The guards retaliated with fire extinguishers, stormed the cells, and introduced psychological punishments, including stripping prisoners naked and placing the instigators in the hole, a small, dark closet. Zimbardo, acting as the prison superintendent, became deeply immersed in the simulation, blurring the line between researcher and participant. The guards' behavior became increasingly aggressive, inventive, and cruel, often beyond the scope of their loose instructions. One guard, known as John Wayne, became particularly notorious for his sadistic pleasure in tormenting prisoners. The prisoners, in turn, exhibited signs of extreme stress, depression, and acute anxiety. 4 prisoners experienced severe emotional breakdowns within the first 4 days, exhibiting symptoms like crying, rage, and disorganized thinking, leading to their early release. The line between role-playing and reality had not simply blurred, it had evaporated entirely, creating an environment of palpable fear and psychological torture. The experiment reached its breaking point on day 6. Christina Maslach, a Stanford PhD student and Zimbardo's girlfriend at the time, was brought in to conduct interviews. She was horrified by the conditions and the guards' behavior, witnessing prisoners being marched to the toilet with bags over their heads and guards taunting them. She confronted Zimbardo, demanding that the experiment be stopped. Her moral outrage and fresh perspective pierced through Zimbardo's deep immersion. He realized the profound ethical breach, the psychological damage inflicted, and the grotesque transformation of good men into tyrants and victims. The study, initially planned for 2 weeks, was abruptly terminated. The revelation was stark. The situation itself, not inherent personality flaws, held an almost absolute power to corrupt and degrade, pushing individuals to extremes they might never have imagined. In the aftermath, the Stanford prison experiment ignited a firestorm of ethical debate that continues to reverberate through psychological research. Zimbardo himself concluded that the experiment demonstrated the powerful impact of social roles, norms, and scripts on human behavior, famously stating that the line between good and evil is permeable. Critics argued the experiment was a methodological mess, suffering from demand characteristics, where participants acted as they believed the researchers wanted them to. Allegations of Zimbardo's direct influence on guard behavior and a lack of true random assignment have further clouded its scientific validity. Today, such an experiment would never pass modern institutional review board scrutiny, making it a chilling testament to a bygone era of research. The Stanford prison experiment remains one of psychology's most infamous and influential studies, a cautionary tale taught in textbooks worldwide. It forced a critical reevaluation of research ethics, leading to stricter guidelines and oversight, ensuring the protection of human subjects. Its legacy is not just about the dark side of human nature, but about the profound responsibility that comes with wielding power, whether in a laboratory, a prison, or any system of authority. The study serves as a stark reminder. Within us lies the capacity for both immense good and profound evil, often dictated not by who we are, but by the circumstances in which we find ourselves.